The Ten Commandments. After leading the Israelites out of Egypt, God brought them to Mount Sinai in the wilderness. There, God called Moses to come up the mountain to receive instructions for the people. The Lord made a covenant with the Israelites, promising to be their God if they would follow his ways and keep his commandments. The people agreed, saying, "We will do everything the Lord has said." Exodus 19 verses 1-8. On the third day, with the mountain covered in smoke and the sound of a loud trumpet blast filling the air, God descended on Mount Sinai in fire. The whole mountain trembled violently, and the people stood at the foot of the mountain, witnessing the awesome presence of God. Moses went up to meet God, and there, God gave him the Ten Commandments, which would become the foundation of the covenant between God and Israel. Exodus 19 verses 16-20, 20:1-17. Here are the Ten Commandments as given by God. 1. You shall have no other gods before me. God commanded the Israelites to worship him alone and not to put any other gods or idols before him. Exodus 20 verse 3. 2. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. God instructed them not to make or worship any idols, as he is a jealous God who demands exclusive devotion. Exodus 20 verses 4-6. 3. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord's name is holy, and the Israelites were to treat it with respect and reverence, not using it carelessly or disrespectfully. Exodus 20 verse 7. 4. Remember the Sabbath day, by keeping it holy. God commanded that the seventh day of the week be set apart as a day of rest, dedicated to the Lord. The Israelites were to do no work on this day, following God's example in creation. Exodus 20 verses 8-11. 5. Honor your father and your mother. The Israelites were to show respect and obedience to their parents, recognizing their authority and care. God promised that those who honored their parents would enjoy long life in the land he was giving them. Exodus 20 verse 12. 6. You shall not murder. God commanded that life be respected and protected. The taking of innocent life was strictly forbidden. Exodus 20 verse 13. 7. You shall not commit adultery. Faithfulness in marriage was required, and the Israelites were commanded to remain true to their spouses. Exodus 20 verse 14. 8. You shall not steal. The Israelites were not to take what did not belong to them, respecting the property and rights of others. Exodus 20 verse 15. 9. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. God commanded honesty in all dealings, forbidding lies, especially those that could harm others or distort justice. Exodus 20 verse 16. 10. You shall not covet your neighbor's house, wife, servants, animals, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. The Israelites were instructed to be content with what they had and not to desire or envy what others possessed. Exodus 20 verse 17. When the people heard the thunder and saw the lightning, the trumpet sound, and the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself, and we will listen. But do not have God speak to us, or we will die." Moses reassured them, saying, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." Exodus 20 verses 18-20. Reflect on the Ten Commandments and their significance. What do these commandments teach you about living a life that honors God and others? How can you apply these principles in your daily life? Write about which of these commandments you find most challenging to follow and why, and how you might seek to live more faithfully according to God's instructions.